Well, 2023 has been and gone, and it is time to look back and bring out the top 10 games that I played in 2023. This is going to be one hell of a list. My top three are probably going to divide a couple of you, but hey, stay tuned, we'll find out. And of course, stay tuned for obviously the worst games of 2023 and my most anticipated games of 2024. That is going to be a good one. Hands down, number one, I can't wait for it. But in the meantime, let's just go straight to number 10. In number 10, we have Humanity. Humanity was brought out in May of 2023, and it is a gorgeous platformer that is a bit different to everything else. This is a very similar trend you'll see throughout this video. Is there's something unique about every single one of these games. But of course, Humanity, the player runs around the stage and with a bunch of crowded humans following and mirroring the actions that you can put down onto the map. You can make them turn left, right, jump. You can put it in airways to sweep them off their feet. It is a fantastic idea of puzzle solving. And later in the game, you get more unlocks, more directives, more different elements to go through. And it makes the game constantly changing and moving. It's very, very intriguing. If you're a fan of puzzle platformers and you haven't tried out Humanity, I would put it to the top of your list. It is a fantastic time, and honestly, actually has a fair bit of replayability as well. So in number 9, we have Final Fantasy 16. Now, I will make a point that I haven't completed Final Fantasy 16 yet. It is a very long game. We all know Square Enix does this, but it doesn't stop it from being exactly what it is. It is stunning. It is beautiful. The gameplay, they changed the gameplay from a turn-based combat to real-time strategy to almost like Devil May Cry beat 'em up. It was an interesting change. I will admit, as much as I was looking forward to the Devil May Cry combat, it maybe didn't quite hit as well as I wanted to. It becomes a little bit repetitive. I almost kind of prefer the Final Fantasy VII Remake combat, which I thought was perfect. I wouldn't have it any other way. But it doesn't stop Final Fantasy 16 from shining in its gameplay, story, and the world building it does. It is gorgeous what they do. So Final Fantasy 16 did come out in June 22nd on PlayStation 5, and I loved it from the start. The story elements is what really brought this game forward. The story is the only reason that I would want to continue playing. As much as it has some faults and it wasn't everyone's cup of tea, I'll have to admit Final Fantasy 16 is going to be inbuilt into my brain for quite a while. I wonder if Final Fantasy Rebirth can actually live up to Final Fantasy 16. It'd be very interesting to see. But of course, loved it. Next. Number 8 might push you one way or the other, because this game came out and not everyone was happy with what they found, but Atomic Heart. Atomic Heart is my number 8, and I am a little biased here. I'm a huge Bioshock fan. I love Bioshock 1, 2, 3, the whole lot. They're fantastic. And Atomic Heart is virtually, don't want to say rip-off, but it's taken a lot of things from the Bioshock franchise and used it in their own world. The Russian world and robotics is just gorgeous, and I love exploring it. If it wasn't for the gameplay being not 100% precise, it wasn't like quite there, and especially because the enemies get a small bit repetitive, but the story itself is quite engaging. It is quite a good time. So Atomic Heart came out in February 21 of this year, and it was like I said, a lot of people, some enjoyed it, some didn't. And it had completely to do with the gameplay. Completely to do with the gameplay. The guns and whatnot was fantastic, but it was just missing something. It just wasn't quite refined yet. Atomic Heart was still a gorgeous experience. I still put it quite high on my list. I'm a little bit biased because of my Bioshock experience. However, you get some, you lose some. At least I'm honest about it. But let's continue. Now in number 7, I do have to admit, this is the top 10 games that I played of 2023. So you might be a little bit surprised when you see my number 7 is Cult of the Lamb. Of course, Cult of the Lamb did come out last year. I understand that, but I played it this year and it was gorgeous. I completely understand what everyone was going crazy about. It is fantastic. The roguelike gameplay, which is fantastically well done. Like, it's just all put together. There's no bugs, there's no edges, nothing feels incomplete. They gave you, for an indie title, they gave you exactly what we wanted. And then you go back to this little farm village with all your little cultists. Yeah, that's right, it's a cultist. And especially with the Twitch integration, when I got to stream this and I could visually see everyone that had dropped by in that game, it was a very heartwarming and fantastic experience. So that's why Cult of the Lamb does get bumped up to number 7, and I can't wait to play some more. Now, number 6, once again, I understand it came out last year, but I played it this year. The Cuphead DLC, The Delicious Last Course. And I have to say, Cuphead is one of the first games I ever streamed, and it's the best game that I got as a community, and I loved it. I loved playing Cuphead as much as I raged at it. It was an incredible experience. And the DLC did not falter once. Now, I kind of breezed through this. I beat the DLC in probably about 3 hours. It was one stream. But once again, I had all the community coming back for Cuphead. Everyone loves it. The gameplay is amazing. The boss-to-boss changes is amazing as well. Learning different bosses, you can feel yourself getting better after each run. It is so good. As much as I would have loved to see some more free running options rather than just bosses, I did miss that in the original game. Without a doubt, Cuphead DLC was fantastic, and they just built more on what they brought out in a fantastic game when it first released. So I love Cuphead. Next DLC, I'm straight back on it. Hopefully I won't wait an entire year to do it this time. Number 5, we have Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Now, I can't express this with Super Mario Bros. I've been playing that since I was a child, and I love this one. This just brought big life. Like, when you first played Mario Galaxy, and you're like, what is going on? This is incredible. I kind of had that same feeling with Super Mario Bros. Wonder. The same 2D gameplay, but revitalized somehow, with every single level being different. And the fact that they got rid of the actual time, it allowed you to just explore, take your time, and just have fun. I managed to play this with my missus, and I wouldn't have played it any other way. It is such a great time, especially with the new elephants and the new power-ups they gave out. The game is gorgeous. Super Mario Bros. Wonder is amazing, and the fact that it almost won Game of the Year, I'm not even surprised. It is a fantastic experience with friends, family, or even by yourself. It is hands down one of the best Mario games they've made in a very long time. Now we come to number 4, a game in which I've been talking about since the day I played it. And I want you to understand, I understand that I'm not saying this is a game, it's a demo, but it still deserved to be on this list. This is the best demo and one of the best games I have played this year. That's why it goes all the way to number 4. But made by Angry Demon Studios, we have Gory Cuddly Carnage. If you know anything about my social medias, I've been talking this game up like crazy. This game is fantastic. All the way back when Stray came out, Stray was gorgeous. No one was really expecting it to do as well as it did. Now imagine a nice cute cuddly cat that rides a hoverboard killing zombified unicorns, and not to mention your board talks to you. It is fantastic. The gameplay is amazing. The story looks really interesting. The boss fights are amazing, and there is so much gameplay out there. If you want to see the full demo, obviously check it out on the channel. I'll drop in the link in the description, and it is a fantastic game. You cannot miss Gory Cuddly Carnage. It is going to be seriously one of my most anticipated games of 2024. But you might have to find out in that video, because that one's coming soon. But for now, it is one of the best demos / games I've played this year, and that's why it solidly gets number 4 on my list. Alright, now we're getting into the top 3. This is going to divide a lot of people, but of course, let me know in the description your top 3, top 10, top whatever. Tell me your favorite game of this year? I want to know. Is it Baldur's Gate 3 like game of the year? I don't know, let me know. But number 3, I have Armored Core 6. From Software, I didn't even see this coming. I did a trailer reaction to this game, I knew nothing about it, I didn't play any other Armored Cores, and I jumped straight into this one, and I enjoyed the hell out of this game. Mech games are fun as, man. So not only do you just get everything you could possibly want in customization of your own mech, based on weight, damage, defense. There's too many things to even mention, but for me, those Gatling guns and shotguns, being able to swap from both and taking on massive bosses, oh my god, Armored Core 6 is a hell of an experience, and it is so much fun. The gameplay, the story, the cinematics, everything about this is gorgeous. Oh, I would play it again in a heartbeat. However, it is bloody hard. Obviously, being From Software, it will be hard. Take that as you will, but if you haven't played Armored Core 6, give it a go. It won't let you down. Number 2, we have Spider-Man 2. Very appropriate, actually. Spider-Man 2, obviously, I don't know a PlayStation player that hasn't played Spider-Man 2, but it is amazing. It's amazing. We knew it was going to be amazing. Whatever they made in Spider-Man 1 and Miles Morales, they just upped it up in Spider-Man 2. Venom was fantastic. The story is amazing. Gameplay is great. I forgot how much I loved swinging around New York as Spider-Man. The second you get jumped into that and you're taking on Sandman straight off the gate and you press R2 and you get that swing going, you're like, I'm back, baby. And it is fantastic. Not to mention the story in regards to Harry. It actually did hit me in the heart a few times. It was actually a fantastic story, how it was written, and I'm a bit of a sucker. I'm a bit of a sucker for a good emotional story. I know. But even with MJ and moving on and, like learning to not have to be Spider-Man, letting Miles take control a bit, it is amazing. But Spider-Man 2, hands down, deserves number 2 on my list. And I know what you're thinking, Mark, Spider-Man 2? Number 2? What are you kidding me? What could possibly be number 1 if Spider-Man 2 is number 2? Well, in number 1, we have something that is going to be controversial. It's going to be controversial because as a best game of 2023, once again, it's the games that I played in 2023. But number 1, without a shadow of a doubt, as soon as I made this list, I put it as number 1. It has to be Elden Ring. I know, it came out last year, I know, and it was Game of the Year last year, and I still didn't play it. But I played it, and it is the best community experience I've had as a streamer, as a content creator. I've loved it. I loved it since the start. I still think about it. I brought up a how to help me beat series, and went from 1 to like 6. I streamed my entire run of Elden Ring. And I loved it. I loved every second of it. The gameplay is gorgeous. The world is gorgeous. The freedom, I wasn't the biggest fan about. I know that's such a weird thing to say with an open world game. But thank you very much to the community that came to help me. And of course, the Elden Ring wiki. I was able to push through that first section. If you've played Elden Ring, you understand. Once you get past the first section, it becomes a bit more streamlined. But however, now, when you jump into it, you can get lost very easily, and that can push a lot of people back. But there's a reason Elden Ring won Game of the Year of 2022, and honestly, it wins my Game of the Year of 2023. I know, it doesn't make sense, because, I mean, yeah, it's 2023, it doesn't make sense, I know, but I loved it. I can't put it any lower on this list. I can't remove it from this list, because it affected me as a gamer and a content creator to the point of going, yes, that was it. It was the best streaming experience. It was the best gaming experience. It affected me in a way that I had to change the way I look at the game. When you play a Souls-like, you follow a streamline all the way to the end. But Elden Ring mixes it up in a good way and a bad way. But you have to make it work. And I did. And the bosses absolutely slapped. They were fantastic. They gave me that same rush. For me, Bloodborne is the perfect Souls-like experience. I didn't get that with Elden Ring, but I had to change what I knew about it to enjoy it. And honestly, it almost made me enjoy it more. But without you guys, Elden Ring probably wouldn't have been my game of the year. But because of how much I enjoyed streaming it, the community of you guys coming to help me play Elden Ring, it is the best experience I've ever had. Anyway, I keep saying that, but it is amazing. I love it. If you haven't played Elden Ring yet, if you're that small percentage that still hasn't played Elden Ring, give it a go. Give it a go, please. And try not to get discouraged from a From Software game, because it's very easy to. But of course, that is my top 10 list of 2023. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please, of course, hit that like, hit that subscribe. I love making this list. It was amazing. This is the first one of a lot to come. And of course, please let me know your top game of 2023 and stay tuned for the worst and the most anticipated games of next year. I'll see you in the next one. See you later.